So I got something in the mail today that I thought was pretty interesting, so I thought I'd share it with you. First, it's a pretty big envelope, so it definitely stood out. And the return address is for the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it says. Now, whenever I opened it up, the first thing that I saw was a letter. Dear me, stopping Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the radical Democrats from forcing their big government socialist agenda on our nation is going to take a massive effort on all across America. It's a good start. Then it goes on to basically invite me to join the congressional district for my area as a representative because my participation is urgently needed. It says, as a key facet of our overall strategy to ensure our Republican candidates are elected in the 2021-22 elections, the Republican Party is conducting a critically important canvass of key members and supporters in every congressional district. The data collected from this document will be used to recruit new voters, ensure the integrity of our elections, target audiences with the truth concerning our Republican agenda and accomplishments, and will be a deciding factor on who controls our government. Pretty serious stuff. Now, the main thing that stuck out to me in this was the questionnaire that was attached to it. To be honest, it is really personal, and if you got one of these and are considering filling it out and sending it back, I don't know where this is going, but I wouldn't do it. So the first section is all about my political profile. The first question is pretty standard. It basically just wants to know what I identify as politically, whether I'm a conservative Republican, moderate Republican, liberal Republican, independent voter who leans Republican. And then the last option is just Democrat. The second question, pretty personal. Did you vote for Donald Trump in the 2020 election? And I'd like to point out one of the answers says unsure. It wants to know how I cast my vote, whether it was in person, an absentee ballot, by mail. Number 4 asks my age range. Number 5 wants to know how relevant I think my political views are with my communities. Number 6, from what media source do you get your political news? The answers on here are pretty funny though, all on one line. NBC, CBS, ABC, the next line, CNN, MSNBC. Fox News has its own line. A couple more options, Facebook, Twitter, OAN, Newsmax, text messages. That's a reliable source. And that wraps up my political profile. That's all they want to know about that. Just how old I am, what kind of Republican I am, who I voted for, how my views reflect my community, and who brainwashed us all to think this way. That's all. Section 2, general issues. This is my favorite question. Do you think our nation is going in the right direction or the wrong direction? If you have to ask that question, I think you know my answer. Number 2, do you think the Democrats put their political interests ahead of the good of our country? No, of course not. Fast forward to number 8, do I think that political correctness has gotten out of hand in America? No. Now, I also wanted to point out in this letter that again was written personally for me, it says that it's because of my high level of political involvement and my support over the last 4 years for the Republican agenda that my personal input on the questions presented are imperative to our nation's future. Now, my question is, what involvement, what political interest, okay? Like, I don't do anything political ever. The extent of my political activity is online. Now, unless you know exactly who I voted for and my exact internet records, then you, Republican National Committee, shouldn't even be sending this to me. And if you do know those things, then my question is why? I have a lot of opinions on what this means, why I got one, but I actually just wanted to hear yours and if you got one as well. And if this is a common thing after election years, I just don't know. This is the first time I've ever got one. So let me know your thoughts on it. I found it hilarious, super invasive, but hilarious. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, did you get one of these and what does it mean? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you aren't already. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.